1, -2, +2, -1, +1. And what's the y-intercept? 4. And if I look at the original equation, what's my constant? 4. Coincidence? I think not. What method am I going to have to use to factor this? Grouping. How did you know, Cameron, that it was grouping? Because there's 4 of them. There's more than 3. There's more than 3. Grouping is a good one to try after you do greatest common factor, which there isn't one. So go ahead and factor and solve this. And then double check your answers and see if that's where it crosses the x-axis.
Teachers, excuse interruption. I need the following students to report to the office. Luke White, Donna Vargas,
She's not here.
Orlandis Sandridge, Jaden Haskins, Colin Goodwin, Blake Darr, Ryan Bell, Kylie Dunnigan, Cecilia Freeman, Arthur Jackson, Fernando Munguia, Mardarius Walker.
Let me know if you're having troubles. Something's not working out like it's supposed to. Because you can check it by looking at where it crosses the x-axis. So when you set that equal to 0, that's going to work. You got it. Okay, so plus a negative equals 0. I can factor out an x squared, leaving us with 2x plus 5. And factor out a -2, also leaving us, just kidding, -1. Also leaving us with 2x plus 5. Those two are the same. And then we have x squared minus 1, which is a difference of 2 squares. So x plus 1, x minus 1. And then we set each one equals 0. Subtract 5, divide by 2. Okay. Questions on those? Now, -5 over 2 is -2.5. So if I look over here, notice -2.5, -1, +1. What's the y-intercept? Yep, right here. -5. And the constant is the same. So, makes sense. All right, moving Okay, this one, we have to do the long no fuss method because I don't have a greatest common factor. There's nothing else I can do. There's 3 terms, so I'm going to have to try that. Set it up into 2 sets of parentheses. I multiply these 2 together. Oh yeah. And I put this first one here. And this last one at the end. When I multiply those together, I get 6x to the 4th. So 2 numbers that multiply to give us 6, but add or subtract to give us -5.
-2 and -3, x squared.
Okay, let's double check it. -2 and -3 is +6, and -2 plus -3 is -5. Good. So -2x squared minus 3x squared. Factor out a 2x squared, leaving us with x squared minus 1. Here I can factor out a -3, also leaving us with x squared minus 1. Those 2 are the same, so I can factor that out, leaving us with 2x squared minus 3. X squared minus 1 will factor. It's a difference of 2 squares. Then we set each one equal to 0. So x equals -1, x equals 1. 2x squared equals 3. Divide by 2. And then how do I get rid of the squared?
You square root it, so
Yep.
it would be plus or minus.
Yes. When you put a square root in a problem, it becomes a plus or minus that number. Now, we're just trying to figure out where it is on our graph. So I'm okay with getting a decimal answer here. It is plus or minus 1.225 when you plug it into the calculator. But don't forget the plus or minus. So like even on say the x squared minus 1, if we forgot and didn't factor that into x plus 1 and x minus 1, we would still get plus or minus 1 if we set it equal to 0. Because when we take the square root of it, you put plus or minus there. So it would still work. So checking this, we have positive and negative 1.225, which is like here and here. And then plus or minus 1. And the y-intercept, what's the y-intercept? 3. And again, the constant of the equation is 3. So the connections that's talking about down here, we have been talking about throughout the whole thing. But we're going to write these down so that we have them. Plus, there's going to be a few more that you may or may not have seen. Did you have a question? No. Yeah, I was talking. You moved your hand, so it made me think. All right, so first, we know that the constant term is what? Of the equation.
Y-intercept.
Yeah. The constant term in the equation of the polynomial is the y-coordinate